Tonight on CTV News at 6. With construction delayed,
if the ministry can't step in and intervene, then who can? Who is holding the senior administration responsible, accountable?
high school students in Parry Sound are going to start the year learning from home. To avoid a backlog,
The emergency room is a very unpredictable environment, and our priority is, of course, always the highest acuity patients.
Sioux Area Hospital is launching a home waiting room for ER patients. And he's calling it a career.
As my wife said to me, did you even have an exit strategy? And the answer was no. So this is my exit strategy, and sometimes the one's forced upon you.
The head of the ER department at the Timmins Hospital is retiring.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you could be with us on this Wednesday, August 27th. School begins next week, and students who attend Parry Sound High School are going to be learning remotely for a while. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
The Near North District School Board now says students in grade 9 to 12 will no longer be starting the year off at the partially demolished Parry Sound High School. Instead, they'll be moving to remote learning.
What's the backup plan? No timeline was given, no commitment to a backup plan. So all of the rush to accommodate backup plans in the last 2 weeks feels very ad hoc. Even if they did give a timeline, I don't think I'd feel very comfortable in believing it. But no, there's no timeline.
The Near North District School Board sent out information to parents that address their safety concerns. The statement reads, in part, every effort will be made to ensure that the existing Parry Sound High School is ready to receive staff and students as soon as possible, and to limit the duration of any remote learning programs.
I'm hopeful that these can be cleared up at least within the first month. I'm going to keep that hope for the kids.
Many parents are frustrated with the school board's lack of clarity, which is why 4 out of 7 trustees at a special meeting last week passed a motion asking for the Minister of Education to conduct an internal investigation of the board and its oversight. However, that motion was overturned as the director was not present and did not appoint a designate in his absence.
We're really confused and frustrated at this point. If the ministry can't step in and intervene, then who can? Who is holding the senior administration responsible, accountable?
Parents for Parry Sound organized the rally on August 15th and met with the area MPP, Graydon Smith, to voice their frustrations.
One of the frustrating points at the meeting with Graydon Smith this morning was that he kept asking us, what do we want to do? He kept putting those questions to us when we stated at the very beginning, we are not here to table solutions. This is not our job. This is your job. This is your job and the minister's job.
As the school year gets closer, parents began a petition asking the minister to get involved as they feel they are left with fewer choices. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Police are reminding the public to slow down in school zones and stop for school buses as classes resume next week. North Bay Police say there is no excuse to ignore the flashing lights on school buses, and they will be taking a zero-tolerance approach around safety. Police are reminding the public that the Highway Traffic Act requires drivers to stop 20 meters behind a stopped school bus when its red signal lights are flashing. Failure to stop comes with a minimum fine of $490 and 6 demerit points for a first offense. Fines can be as much as $4,000 and include jail time for subsequent offenses. North Bay Police are also asking the public to report drivers who don't stop for school buses by phone or email. A new pilot program at Sioux Area Hospital is looking to reduce congestion in its emergency department. The virtual home waiting room is designed for those with minor ailments to avoid spending extra time waiting among people with higher needs. CTV's Corey Nordstrom explains.
Waiting in the queue at an emergency department can take hours, and depending on the severity of your symptoms, that length of time can continually be increased. A new pilot program at the Sioux Area Hospital aims to reduce those times for those on the lower end of acuity.
The emergency room is a very unpredictable environment, and our priority is, of course, always the highest acuity patients. And we don't want low acuity patients to have to wait a large amount of time in our wait rooms because they can be very crowded. And crowding, of course, as we know from the pandemic, can lead to a greater risk for infection and also decreases patient satisfaction and reduces our overall efficiency.
The virtual home waiting room is for patients who have at least one of these 9 symptoms, including earaches and minor cuts or scrapes. The hospital's website has the full details, and it's also where patients with less emergent needs can join the virtual queue. After inputting their information, they will receive texts on the hour of their spot on the list.
It is essentially lets them know that when they're told to come to the emergency room, that is the most opportune time to minimize their wait in the emergency room. But it's not an opportunity to skip the existing queue.
Even though the home waiting room is new, officials are satisfied with the early results.
We're only 1 day into this project, and the patients who did use it waited an average of an hour at home. And then when they joined to be seen in the emergency room, they joined our usual queue, and our average wait times have been around 3 hours.
Hospital officials hope to eventually expand the virtual home waiting room to include more than 10 patients. They add that feedback is critical to improving the pilot project and invite all patients who use the queue to review it. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
The sentencing for a woman who repeatedly stabbed her neighbor in the greater Sudbury community of Chelmsford last year has been delayed. In court today, the lawyer for 33-year-old Jesse Brave said he wanted a mental health assessment for his client and disputed some parts of the pre-sentence report. Brave was originally charged with attempted murder but pled guilty to aggravated assault. In November 2024, Brave stabbed her neighbor 6 times. The victim was left paralyzed by the attack. Brave will be back in court next week. New automated license plate reader systems at 16 intersections across Greater Sudbury have been activated today. The plate readers are part of a police initiative to target individuals who pose an elevated risk to safety. The ALPR systems take high-resolution photos of license plates, and those of interest are flagged in the system. According to police, only designated and properly trained officers can flag plates. The system is intended to help with stolen vehicles, missing persons, Amber Alerts, and active criminal investigations. The driver is not captured in these photos, just the plates, and the photos are purged from the system every 7 days. Shifting now to the weather. Pretty nice day on this Wednesday with August winding down. With more on the conditions, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Okay, Tony, that nice day is over with. It's starting to rain across that Highway 17 corridor in Sault Ste. Marie, of course, right through all the way to Sudbury. It just started, and North Bay right now mainly cloudy, so we'll get into the current temperatures. Our systems map, plenty of rain for this evening. Sault Ste. Marie and, of course, Sudbury, 10 to 15 millimeters. In North Bay, 5 to 10. Parry Sound for tomorrow. It's going to be quite the wet day, 30 to 40 millimeters. We'll talk about our current conditions, a big difference from last night, of course, and more about what's happening this weekend with the weather for the Labor Day weekend. Tony, you'll be surprised. Back to you.
Can't wait for that. Thanks so much for that, Rick. International Overdose Awareness Day is Sunday. Still to come on CTV News at 6. We check in on a program tonight in Sudbury. But first, let's take a live webcam look at the boat launch in Elliott Lake. Is it going to be a bit chilly for a boat ride this evening? Might be. It's only 17 degrees right now. We will return in just a few short minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Time now for a look at the mayor's chair. Once a week, we check in with local mayors to see what's happening in their community and some of the situations they're dealing with. Joining us tonight in the mayor's chair is Mayor Tara Anderson-Hart from White River. Mayor Anderson-Hart, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Ian. It's great to be here.
I want to start, you and I have chatted about a great many deal things before, but I know one of the things that is prevalent to your community and important to your community is forestry. Obviously, very important sector. How are you and the rest of the community navigating all of this uncertainty we're seeing, particularly with some of the rhetoric from south of the border?
Oh, well, right now I think it's heads down, one foot in front of the other. There have been a lot of meetings and discussions going on. Have another one actually coming up shortly with the mill and the municipality, and some other parties are going to be there as well. Everybody is still working. That is the goal. And they're maintaining and keeping our heads above water on that front. As you know, the forestry sector is so vital to our community. It is one of our very foundations and main employers in our community. Approximately half the community works there, between the logging industry, the actual production, and the shipping of the finished product that they do make here. So everybody from loggers to truck drivers and everybody in between are relying on this mill for their livelihood.
Are you getting any sort of reassurance from senior levels of government? I know that a lot of people from, I'm assuming there will be a Wawa delegation meeting with municipalities soon, if not after, depending on when we air this. What are you expecting to hear from the Premier or the Prime Minister?
There's a lot rolling out at the moment. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes talk going on, a lot of meetings trying to coordinate the best options for support of this industry from all levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal. I've had some conversations with our MP and MPP. They're working very hard in the background for us as well, trying to coordinate everything. We don't have any 100% definitive answers at this point. But I'm sure that's going to definitely be developing over the next couple of weeks.
Well, tourism also a very important sector for White River. Are you still seeing the American travelers heading your way, or is it predominantly Canadians?
No, we are seeing a lot of our American friends still, especially the ones that come year after year. We have a fly-in outfitter based out of White River that has been, having their normal booming season, which is wonderful to see. We're seeing a lot of visitors in town at our information center, exploring like our new hiking trail in town that we have, and that kind of thing. So people are coming. Definitely more Canadian tourists this year than Americans, but we're still seeing our American friends.
And I know I was talking to one of your Wawa counterparts, and Wawa I know has been leading the charge on this, but the boob bus this year for ladies in the White River area is going to be an option. They're still working on permanent health care and getting permanent mammograms in the White River Wawa area, but that's got to come as a relief, because it sounded like earlier this year you guys up in that region were going to be left without any options.
Exactly, and last year we had the same thing happening, and we collectively protested directly with the bus people and said, no, we really need you here. We are, White River is 3.5 hours steady drive to get to Sault Ste. Marie, which is our closest facility where that can be done. And it is so important. We have so many ladies over 50 that don't drive, can't drive, don't have somebody to take them. That we do really need that bus to come here. They perform such a great service, such preventative care is, if you can do the PMs now, you avoid the problems in the future, right? And that comes down to everything, including ladies' health. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing them coming back to our area and servicing our residents.
Absolutely. Very important for everyone. Absolutely. And obviously lots of things happening in the White River area we'll be trying to keep our eye on as best as possible. Mayor Anderson Hart, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ian, for making the time to speak with me today.
That's Mayor Tara Anderson Hart from the town of White River.
Thanks for that, Ian. This Sunday is International Overdose Awareness Day, with several community organizations taking time this week to highlight the crisis and educate people. CTV's Alan Everson has more from Sudbury on a program aimed at supporting women.
55-year-old Sandy Lee is battling leukemia and says she uses street drugs to deal with physical and emotional pain stemming from trauma throughout her life. She deeply appreciates the opportunity to stop by the Women's Harm Reduction drop-in.
Comfortable, because it's this woman, not man, because I can't do group with man. I freeze and I feel threatened.
The RACO Access Network says the Women's Harm Reduction drop-in every Wednesday morning is designed to help women who are precariously housed, using drugs or have in the past.
To speak to the issues that are important to us in a safe and meaningful way we're able to provide access to some snacks and some things that many women in community are denied access to. And it's just a space for belonging.
For people to just put down what they're carrying for a little while. It's hard out there.
Bowman says the ratio is that more men use a harm reduction window than women.
It's because women face a lot of stigma who are using drugs. And it can be unsafe for them to access harm reduction materials. And they can be controlled on the outside world. So this is a space where they can come in and take what they need without having to ask.
Get peace of mind and relax, and me time too, right? Away from outside.
The drop-in offers harm reduction supplies. Test before you use drug kits, essentials for women, bras, underwear, and a space to share, belong, and build community. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
All right, back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
Well, the rain's here, Tony. It's raining in Sudbury and, of course, raining in Sault Ste. Marie. It will rain in North Bay. So, again, 10 to 15 millimeters in Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, 5 to 10 tonight in North Bay, 30 to 40 tomorrow in Parry Sound. You can see on our systems map right now, moving through the northeast, but that will clear eventually. Friday looks awfully good. So does Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just in time for the long weekend. Meanwhile, our current temperatures, let's have a look. Fog in Moosonee at 9, Cochrane overcast at 13, light rain in Timmins at 12, Kapuskasing 13, some cloud. In Chapleau 13 with the rain, Wawa overcast, Sault Ste. Marie, as I said, at 16 with the rain. Parry Sound will get the rain tomorrow. Well, some sun, some cloud, but right now sunny, 19. Meanwhile, in North Bay, 19, mainly cloudy. Temiskaming Shores, 21. Kirkland Lake, 17 with the rain, heavy at times. Greater Sudbury, rain at 20. Espanola, 18. Elliott Lake, for whatever reason, overcast, but the rain is coming, 14. And Gore Bay, mainly sunny at 17. Your 7-day forecast and the pick of the day coming up. You'll like this one, Tony. That's coming up just minutes away. Back to you.
Can't wait for that. Thanks so much, Rick. School shooting next on CTV News at 6. 2 children are dead after a man opens fire during prayer service in Minnesota. And Air Canada's flight attendants are voting on a tentative deal. A deadly shooting on just the 3rd day of school in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 2 children have been killed and 17 people were injured earlier today around 8:30 a.m. local time. The attack happened during a morning mass at a Catholic school when the church was full of children.
My mom was waiting outside of the church when it happened. I was scared that I wasn't going to see her because I didn't know what was happening really. I was just in shock. It was like right beside me. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me. The first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew. And then I covered my head. My friend Victor like saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit. He's really brave, and I hope he's good in the hospital.
FBI, police, and paramedics responded to the scene. The shooter, believed to be in his early 20s and acting alone, took his own life, according to Minneapolis police. A vehicle they think belonged to the suspect was found in the church's car park with a smoke bomb inside. The city's mayor spoke passionately today, saying students and parents deserve to know they will be safe at school.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have.
And the attack happened at the Annunciation Catholic School. The 2 children who died were just 8 and 10 years old. Canadian talks to reach a deal with the United States are kicking into high gear, with 2 more cabinet ministers set to meet with top White House officials. Yesterday, it was Canada's top minister on fixing the U.S. trade relationship. Dominic LeBlanc was in Washington holding what LeBlanc calls constructive talks with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Lutnick is a top advisor to President Trump on economic issues. Today's meeting had Canada's Justice Minister and Public Safety Minister and Canada's so-called fentanyl czar in Washington, D.C. The latest talks come days after Prime Minister Mark Carney announced that Canada will drop some of its retaliatory tariffs on American goods, perhaps in an olive branch to help win some goodwill from the Trump administration. Prime Minister Mark Carney headed back to Ottawa today after visiting with several European countries about trade and security. Before leaving Latvia this morning, Carney visited a military base where he met with some of the troops who are part of Canada's largest overseas mission. Latvia is home to Operation Reassurance, a multinational deployment of soldiers meant to deter against Russian aggression in Europe's eastern flank. Canada is the lead nation with roughly 2,000 troops deployed, and the Prime Minister announced Ottawa is extending the Canadian deployment for another 3 years to 2029.
This renewal will increase capabilities in Latvia to reinforce our collective defense and to bolster our cooperative security and strengthen that NATO deterrence. The extension of Operation Reassurance is part of our broader mission to rebuild, rearm, and reinvest in the Canadian Armed Forces.
In the meantime, Russian leaders continue to say they don't support European proposals on a set of security guarantees for Ukraine against possible future attacks by Russia. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said it would be not acceptable to Russia for there to be Western troops in Ukraine or any neighboring territory. Peskov added that while security guarantees remain one of the most important topics, Russia does not believe it's helpful to discuss them publicly. All right, there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Well, Tony, we thought that we would get rain earlier this week by Thursday, and bang on for Environment Canada, actually starting hours earlier. Let's take a look at the forecast radar right now. This is where the rain is sitting in the northeast and continuing through for tonight, 10 to 15 millimeters. Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, 5 to 10 in North Bay, so it's along that Highway 17 corridor. And of course, for tomorrow, as I've been saying, 30 to 40 millimeters set for the Parry Sound area. So we'll take a look at more the conditions and temperatures with our overnight look. Here we go, 10 to 15 in Sudbury at 10, Sault Ste. Marie 10 to 15, Timmins showers, Temiskaming Shores showers, and North Bay 5 to 10 millimeters of rain. Meanwhile, in Moosonee, chance of showers, Caphurst showers, Wawa, good chance of showers there at 60%. Gore Bay, 15 to 25 millimeters for tonight. And of course, Parry Sound, chance of showers and 30 to 40 millimeters in the forecast for tomorrow. Sudbury Nickel Belt in your 7-day forecast. Chance of showers once they end tomorrow. That'll be at 30%. Sunny skies Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice temperatures there. Warming up to 23 and 24 Monday and Tuesday. So you're going to enjoy the weather for the holiday weekend. In the Sioux and Algoma, chance of showers for tomorrow at 16. Friday and Saturday, loads of sunshine. Sunday, sun and cloud. Monday, sun and cloud on your holiday Monday, 25. More of the same come Tuesday as well above normal. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers for tomorrow at 40%. Might rain, might not rain at 40%. Let's just roll the dice. Friday, sunshine. Saturday and Sunday, sunny skies, 23, 25. Monday, Tuesday, here we go with 25 and 23 above normal, which is around 21. So it actually drops back down on Wednesday under mostly cloudy conditions. Here we go now with Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. I'm getting choked up over some of that sunshine. For tomorrow, chance of showers. Friday, sun and clouds. Saturday and Sunday, we've got sunshine, 22, 24. Monday, Tuesday, sun and cloud both days. Again, 24, 25, which is above normal. So some warmer weather coming your way. And again, that's going to play into a lot of the weekend plans. People taking off, going to camp, or just doing whatever they've got to do. North Bay, West Nipissing, rain for tonight, 5 to 10 millimeters. More of the same for tomorrow, 5 to 10. Friday, we've got some sunshine. Saturday, Sunday, sunshine, 20 and 23. Monday, Tuesday, 22 and 23. Again, above normal. It'll hit 24 by next Wednesday. Now, let's take a look at the pick of the day, which comes into play as well very nicely. Debbie Rayner, a regular contributor, a misty morning on Lake Panache. And Debbie was saying, I'm hoping for some warmer weather. So, Debbie, that's why I chose this pick, because we will get warmer weather heading into the weekend, so you can enjoy your Labor Day weekend as well. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Coop is standing by with the CAA Tip of the Month.
Did you know that 36 million people will board a cruise this year? It is the ultimate stress-free vacation. But if you are a cruise newbie and this is the first time getting your sea legs, I have some advice on why cruising is a great fit for your next vacation. And that is my CAA Tip of the Month. As the cold moves in, many Canadians pack up and head south. That could mean cruising. A cruise is more than just a vacation. It's an all-in-one getaway where your hotel, dining, entertainment, and transportation come together. On a cruise, you'll visit several locations without the hassle of pre-packing or navigating between hotels. You'll wake up somewhere new each day, whether it's a Mediterranean port or a private island in the Caribbean. Plus, you can sign up for amazing excursions and once-in-a-lifetime adventures. Many cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, offer exclusive access to private islands where you can relax on white sand beaches, try thrilling water parks, or enjoy beachside cabanas exclusive for guests. The comfort of the cruise is transformed to the island with all the same exclusive luxuries. Here's something even seasoned cruisers are unaware of. You can opt to bundle your meals, accommodations, and activities into one price for most cruise lines, giving you fewer surprises at the end of your trip and more time to enjoy your vacation. And CAA members can book with a CAA travel consultant and unlock perks like shipboard credits, welcome gifts, or special pricing only available to members. When you work with a CAA travel consultant, they will help you choose the right itinerary, cruise line, and cabin based on your travel style, goals, and budget. Whether you want family-friendly fun through the Caribbean or a more intimate river cruise experience, they'll help you plan with confidence. Put your life in cruise control and head to the open seas. And that is my CAA Tip of the Month.
Air Canada's flight attendants are voting on a newly mediated agreement. The voting will open today and run until September 6th. Terms of the new agreement include a 12% increase for junior flight attendants and 8% increases for more senior members, with raises coming in the following 3 years. As part of the deal, flight attendants will now be paid when working while their plane is not in the air, depending on the type of aircraft they're on. If agreed upon, the deal will be in place until March 2029. Sweating, straining, and pulling, all in the name of charity. Teams came together at North Bay's Jack Garland Airport this morning for the annual United Way plane pull. CTV's Eric Tashner was there.
Putting their muscles to the test, Team Enbridge didn't need to strain to move this 30,000-pound jet aircraft.
It's all about pulling together as a team.
Enbridge is also donating $5,000 to the plane pull.
Giving back to where we live, work, and play, that's what it's all about.
With all their might, 32 teams had their chance to pull the plane 100 feet across the finish line to see who bags the best time and bragging rights.
We have 9 teams this year. It's the most teams we've ever submitted.
I tell everybody to put it out to the universe that we're going to rock it.
At the start of the poll, United Way collected more than $15,000 in donations. Over the last 8 years, the poll has raised over $50,000 for the nonprofit's community fund.
We address gaps, but we also support programs that make huge impact.
All the money raised funds several vital programs in the community and member agencies within the United Way, like the Keeping Seniors Warm and Ready for School programs.
We also have funded partners. So we fund the Elmwood Hub. We found United for Literacy. We fund the paddle program, and there's a ton of other programs that we fund right now, 11 to be exact.
The plane poll started in 2017 with companies showing off their strength to raise money and give back to their community.
There's nothing like this around, so I think we're setting precedent. So happy to support year after year.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A special ceremony in Sudbury yesterday to honor 21 people who make it their mission to give back to the community. They were the local recipients of the King's Coronation Medal, celebrated by the city's MP, Vivian Lapointe. She says each of them demonstrate dedication in their various fields and that they've made an impact in Sudbury and beyond.
We have educators, we have people who work in the healthcare system, veterans, business entrepreneurs, activists. We have someone of 17 years old all the way into their late 80s. So there's a broad wealth of ages and experiences. But the one thing they all have in common is how much they contributed to our community and have really made a difference.
Absolutely. I was looking forward to it, and I didn't know how I got nominated, but I understand it was through the military.
Well, it's a remarkable honor and privilege to be named a recipient of the Coronation Medal and to be part of a group, an illustrious group like this. I mean, it's hard to believe 21 of these individuals, these outstanding community service and leaders in our community that are here tonight, and I'm just honored to be part of that group.
The medal is a commemorative honor awarded to Canadians who have demonstrated exceptional dedication to their community and service to their country. A Timmins physician is retiring today after 31 years of working in the Timmins and District Hospital Emergency Department. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
Oh, thanks, guys.
This is Dr. Chris Loretto's last day working as chief of the Timmins and District Hospital Emergency Department. He says it's time to retire.
As my wife said to me, did you even have an exit strategy? And the answer was no. So this is my exit strategy, and sometimes the ones forced upon you are the best ones, because otherwise you don't realize, and then you find out you're the last person at the party and all the music has stopped and everybody's gone home and you're still there. So it is for the best.
Loretto says this is where he's wanted to be, working in his hometown emergency department for the last 3 decades.
It's a great profession. I love it. It was my career. I chose that career. And if I were healthier, I would still be doing it without a doubt. So yeah, a bit bittersweet, but everything's got a shelf life.
Dr. Loretto is a heart attack survivor, and despite loving his job, he says working in the ER is more stressful than ever.
With the lack of family docs, with the social ills that are out there today, the visit volume, the complexity of the cases are rising. And so the pressures on the emerge are even more so, which, makes it a career that is very short-lived with respect to the people, both nurses and physicians, in the time that they spend in it.
Loretto says he'll assist with trauma calls, continue teaching students, and he'll also work with Air Ambulance and the Community Paramedicine Program. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
A family-owned auto dealership with more than 5 decades of history in Northern Ontario celebrated its expansion in the greater Sudbury community of Chelmsford last night.
Okay,
A ribbon-cutting ceremony and speeches marked the official grand opening of Boulanger Ford Lincoln Center Limited's new service facility. The 10,000-square-foot facility also includes a neighboring car wash. Boulanger officials say the expansion has created 10 jobs and was built in response to a growing customer base.
Our goal was to improve our customer service, because we were booking in 3 weeks to get an appointment. Now we're looking at 1 week away from booking a service appointment. So this is all about taking care of our customers and have great customer service.
So it was in 1971 that this dealership first opened, in fact, by Jose's father. And so we've been so proud to have them as our partner over that 54 years. They've done an absolutely tremendous job servicing, selling vehicles, servicing cars, as well as supporting the local community.
And Boulanger is gearing up to mark its 55th anniversary next year. North Bay is postponing its upcoming drone show. And the show was supposed to be this Friday, but has been postponed due to safety concerns. This is the second show to be cancelled or postponed this summer after high winds knocked several drones out of the air at an event in July. The city is looking at other venues to host drone shows where wind speeds are generally lower. Open letter still ahead on CTV News at 6. The owner of the French River Rapids of the NOJHL is seeking more support from fans. Pediatricians are sounding the alarm over supplements used by young people while working out. They say protein powders and creatine are being consumed by kids. And as CTV's Pauline Chan reports, that comes with some potential health risks.
The survey looked at 857 pediatricians across Canada and showed 17% of them had dealt with adolescents who needed medical attention because of dietary supplements or performance-type drugs over the past year.
Most of them are related to things like gastrointestinal issues or maybe some sort of like cardiac issues, maybe in arrhythmias, things of that nature.
Kidney problems were also common. The vast majority of the patients were boys. More than half were aged 13 to 15, and a third were aged 10 to 12. More than half of the doctors say they never screen regularly for supplements or performance-enhancing chemicals, and a quarter said they had no knowledge about the substances.
I think the important thing is just to recognize, especially for parents and pediatricians and healthcare providers at large, is that these dietary supplements in particular are very, very easily accessible. You can buy them at Costco, you can buy them at Shoppers.
Items such as whey powder, pre-workout mixes, and creatine are also available online. And lead researcher Kyle Ganson says their use has been increasing in teens recently.
Certainly social media is a big proponent of this and obviously influencing a lot of young people to go towards some of these supplements.
Use of illegal drugs such as anabolic steroids has also been on the rise in kids, and Ganson says the harms are not just physical.
Also things like body image issues or other disordered eating patterns or overexercising, which again can also cause some other problems.
He says parents and healthcare providers need to know more about these substances and encourage safe use of them. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Hockey season is about to start, and one Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League team is reaching out to the community for help. CTV's Angela Gemmell has the details.
Preparations are underway to get this dressing room ready, not just for the players' arrival next week, but for an important meeting with the community.
This is a community thing. Everybody's got to jump on board and essentially do our best this year to have the Rapids sustain their existence.
There are challenges, and the French River Rapids team needs help. Players arrive next week, but the team doesn't have enough billet families. And then there's the finances. The Rapids are in one of the smaller communities with an NOJHL franchise. According to the team's president and head coach, some games last season only saw 100 fans.
Without billeting, you have no hockey team. Without ticket sales, you have no hockey team. Without corporate sponsorship, you have no hockey team. These are three important facets of running a junior hockey team, and we're just looking for help.
Frastaglio wants to hear from the community. He's hoping an open house will provide input on how the team can thrive heading into the new season.
People don't know. So when they do know, we're hoping that they'll embrace the team a little bit more, and we don't need a lot more, just a little bit more. So we can have our existence here forever and ever.
What I'd like to see is, more support from the community. The players feel it on the ice. The fans love it. It's so much energy and so much positivity. I keep saying positivity, but that's truly what it brings.
Players begin arriving next Wednesday for training camp and exhibition games. The team plays in Blind River for its first game of the season, and their home opener is September 20th here against the Sudbury Cubs. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Noelville.
A major film festival opened today with perhaps the most star-studded lineup in its history. David Daniel has that and more in the Hollywood Minute.
Hank's continued obsession. We're friends. Always will be. The stars are Italy-bound for the Venice Film Festival. Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and Iowa Debary are expected there for their film After the Hunt, as well as George Clooney and Adam Sandler promoting Jay Kelly, Emma Stone for Begonia, her new collaboration with Poor Things director Yorgos Lanthimos, Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine, and Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. The 82nd Venice Film Festival runs through September 6th.
You touched me here. What did you see?
I saw a landscape.
Saw a landscape?
Spaces. Caves. Tunnels and oceans. Undiscovered countries.
The first trailer is out for Hamnet, based on Maggie O'Farrell's award-winning novel. Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal star in the fictional tale about the Shakespeares, directed by Oscar winner Chloe Zhao and executive produced by Oscar winners Sam Mendes and Steven Spielberg. Hamnet is in theaters November 27th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
In 2 days, the U.S. is ending the exclusion from shipping fees. It's called the de minimis exemption. And as CTV's Rachel Aiello explains, this latest announcement could cripple small businesses.
So we'll do a CUSMA form for these.
The United States is scrapping its tariff exemption on parcels worth $800 US or less. It means starting Friday, all of those U.S.-bound shipments will be hit with duties.
It would have an immediate impact. The antique parts of our business are a substantial part of what we do. We've seen that business growing over the years, especially down into the U.S.
Many small shop owners like David Pelkey are facing a tough choice. Absorb or pass on the cost, cut off a key market, or go through the complex process of becoming CUSMA compliant.
This is going to have implications for a lot of Canadian businesses, and it's coming at a time where you don't necessarily have a lot of resilience in the small business sector.
But U.S. President Donald Trump dumping de minimis is also set to cost American consumers and could result in big headaches for border agents.
It was there for a reason.
Millions of duty-free packages enter the U.S. daily. But with this change looming, postal operators in at least 25 countries are suspending U.S. shipping, citing the lack of clarity around enforcement. Canada Post is not one of them. Instead, they'll be using a third-party program to collect and send the duties directly to U.S. Customs. The Crown Corporation said the duty will be equal to the tariff rate of a product's country of origin. For Canada, the current rate is 35% for most goods. A key caveat to take note of, Canada Post flagged to us today that documents and gifts valued under $100 US sent from Canadians, not businesses, will be exempt. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers announced on social media that talks resume today with Canada Post. The union will look to negotiate an agreement after 55,000 postal workers rejected an offer by the Crown Corporation earlier this year. It comes after Canada Post reported a loss before tax of $407 million in the second quarter, its 8th consecutive year of losses. Unresolved negotiations continue to hurt the postal services business. NVIDIA did not disappoint when the tech giant reported its latest results. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more on that and other business headlines.
The world's most valuable company reported earnings after the close of the North American markets. NVIDIA's revenue is up 56% year over year, ringing in at $46.7 billion in its latest quarter. Washington has made it more difficult for NVIDIA to sell its semiconductor chips to China, but that seems to be only a hiccup for the company as it capitalizes on the ramp-up of AI worldwide. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar moved up to $72.52. West Texas Intermediate is up 90 cents to $64.15. Western Canadian Select down close to $1.50 at $50.23. And the TSX hit another record close again today, gaining 93 points to 28,433. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up just over $7, closing the day at $33.97.43 US an ounce. Silver down 6 cents to end the day at $38.59. Copper had no change, ending at $4.37, and nickel down a penny, ending the day at $6.72 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Thursday weather.
You know, Tony, when you were younger, we were all told, you know, at one time or another, it's going to rain tomorrow. And that is our story for tomorrow across the Northeast. But then it gets better. Chance of showers in Greater Sudbury, but lots of rain tonight, 10 to 15 millimeters in Timmins. Chance of showers as well, 15. Sault Ste. Marie, 16, 10 to 15 millimeters as well. Meanwhile, in North Bay, we've got 5 to 10 millimeters of rain in the forecast tomorrow. Parry Sound, 30 to 40 millimeters, and Temiskaming Shores, chance of showers. So it will rain. It will get better on Friday. Tony, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Finally, we recently told you about a pair of Highland cows that are making the Toronto Zoo home. Well, the brothers were officially named today. The cows are named Blue and Jay in honor of the city's Major League Baseball team. The 9-month-old bovine brothers joined the zoo as part of the outreach and discovery team. Highland cows were originally bred in Scotland and are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world. These gentle giants got winning names. Well done. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.